Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and we have something super awesome to take a look at today as we have a brand new Passion Charger release here. Finished, fully painted now. It took me a little bit to get this guy painted and built and all of that fun stuff and come up with a paint scheme that I was happy with. And I actually kind of thought outside the box with this one because I normally go for a little bit more of a natural, or at least what I would assume would be like a natural, more darker paint scheme. But being a hadrosaur, I really wanted to go with something a little bit flashier while still hopefully remaining somewhat natural. And I went with this really interesting bluish paint scheme. If you had seen my Tyrannosaurus review of the Passion Charger product, there was also a figure of this animal in that review that the Tyrannosaurus was feasting upon, and it had a very similar paint scheme, so I kind of tried to match it up to that, but at the same time, the one that was in that review was a lot smaller than this, so I kind of take that one as more of like a juvenile, whereas this one would be an adult, so it's a little bit of a flashier, brighter version of that paint scheme. But anyway, this is the Edmontosaurus from Passion Charger, and you might notice straight away that there is no crest on this Edmontosaurus, because I would imagine this Edmontosaurus is meant to be Edmontosaurus annectens, which does not actually have a crest, or at least as far as I know, it does not have a crest. So that would be why you see a crestless version of the Edmontosaurus, as there are two different species of Edmontosaurus. But the sculpt is fantastic, and if you can recall the numerous times that I had promoted this in news videos, there was actually an entire family of Edmontosaurs that he had released. I only got this one, which I take as like a big male, because it was kind of my favorite of the group, and I just generally really love the sculpt of this Edmontosaurus. Like, it is very large, very majestic looking, just a all-around beautiful Edmontosaurus, and we don't have that many really nice Edmontosaurus models out there, so it is nice to have one here that's so beautiful and so highly detailed. And without question, this is easily the best Edmontosaurus that I have in my collection. Before even, going into the closer look and showing you guys just how beautiful this model is, I can say that with complete confidence now after building it and painting it. This is definitely the best Edmontosaurus in my collection, which is not surprising being a Passion Charger release, as they always release top quality in everything they do. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get a closer look right now. Now, being that this is a Passion Charger release, this was painted by me, so of course, whatever you choose for your model to look like would be up to you. You can paint it however you would like, but I came up with this very interesting looking paint scheme for it. So it does come unpainted and unbuilt, and that's up to you then to get it painted and built, or you can send it out to a paleo artist and have them do it for you. But you can see straight away up here on the head is just gorgeous as far as like a detailing standpoint. If we get nice and close, you can see how beautiful that head sculpt is, showing off every ounce of detail you would expect to find. The skin texture is actually incredibly nice on this Edmontosaurus, like really quite phenomenal. You can see the nostrils sculpted out up here at the tip of the snout. Like, just talking about the skin texture, like, you can really see how nice that skin texture is here in the lower part of the jaw. Just incredibly well done. The eyes are also sculpted out quite beautifully, and all of the scale detail there on the face of the Edmontosaurus is incredibly well done. You also have the beak. Of course you would have a beak on a hadrosaur, but you can also see the beak is beautifully sculpted and like really includes some very nice, very fine detailing within, so it looks again about as lifelike and realistic as it could possibly get. And just looking at it here, from up above, you could see how insanely nice the scale detail is on this Edmontosaurus. And taking a look over here at the opposing side of the head, again, it just looks beautiful from every vantage point, like really highly detailed. And that's something that I can say about Passion Charger, that I would say they're probably the most highly detailed models out of all of the models in my collection. I really honestly don't think that I have anybody that has ever produced models with more detail included in them, making them again the highest of quality than what I get consistently from Passion Charger. You can also see the ears back here in the back of the dinosaur. As we start to lead down the neck, you can see lots of creasing going on here in the neck region and the throat. You can see a lot of movement shown because the Edmontosaurus has its head turned quite sharply to its left, and you can see that throughout the entire sculpt. Like, there's just a lot of movement, lots of creasing and everything shown here in the neck region of our Edmontosaurus. As we continue to move down here into the body, this side displays a lot more of the stomach than you'll see on the opposing side, so you can really see just the immense girth and massive size of this Edmontosaurus over here on this side. You can see the front leg here stretching off of the body really nicely, like it's taking a very far forward step, and you can see how the skin is just stretching beautifully, again showing off what I was saying, how Passion Charger produces probably the most highly detailed models out of anybody that I've ever met. And you can really see that just as I turn it here. Like, look at the entire structure of the animal and just how brilliantly it is sculpted out. Like, you could see the muscles tensing and everything throughout the entire figure here with this front leg. Like, it's just showing off that movement in such an insanely realistic way. Like, it honestly looks like a living, breathing animal here, just walking or attempting to walk while I hold it here before me. As you continue to lead down that front leg, you can see some very nice muscle definition included within that leg. And then as you get down here into the foot, you can see the foot looks great if it would stay focused on it. And you have that gorgeous hoof-like foot that you see on the front of your Edmontosaurus, something we are now accustomed to seeing on Edmontosaurus. You can also see more beautiful skin detail here on the underside, like nice skin wrinkles and stuff. But up here in the stomach region, again, you can see just how insanely beautiful this model is with the immense girth in the stomach region. Like, you can see just how insanely massive this dinosaur is just looking here in the stomach region. And again, the beautiful skin texture that is really abundant throughout the entire model. As you move back here into the thigh region, you can see some very nice muscle definition displayed in the thigh. Moving down here into the leg, you can see the kneecap right there, beautiful calf muscle. Here in the back of the leg, you can see as it's taking a step forward, just walking along. The rear foot sculpt also looks insanely well done. The detailing aspect is just extraordinarily gorgeous down here, and you can also see like some beautiful scale detail here in the front in like the shin area and stuff. And then you've got, of course, the nails sculpted out and everything right down here in the feet. And then as you lead back up into the tail, you can see more like really nice skin wrinkles and skin creasing and everything going on as the dinosaur's leg is really showing off the movement here, reacting with the tail. And then you lead out the length of the tail, and the actual skin texture out here continues to look amazing, which is not exactly a surprise or anything like that. But you can also see that the tail does sport a really nice curve as you lead out the length of the tail. And then if we take a look at the opposing side, again, we've already looked at the sculpt of the head, but you can see so much skin wrinkles and skin creasing there in the neck as, again, the Edmontosaurus, it's turning its head so sharply to the left toward us, and you can really see that shown off beautifully in the sculpt. And again, the shoulder blade a little bit right there. Very nice tensing in this front leg, as that leg is currently supporting the entire front half of the dinosaur, considering the opposing leg there is taking a step. So you can really see how that's tensing beautifully right there in the sculpt. And again, the really nice foot sculpt here on the front leg of our Edmontosaurus. You can see more insanely nice skin detail. And this is another area I really love. Like, you can see the rear leg pushing into the stomach, and this really shows off the girth of the dinosaur. Like, you can see it just really smushing the skin here in the stomach region. You can see the same thing here with the front leg, but it's a lot more abundant with like the immense girth of the stomach region right there with that rear leg pushing into it, and so many skin wrinkles and stuff in the stomach region right there. You can see the muscle definition is nicely highlighted in the rear leg as well. You've got a beautiful kneecap right there, and again, the really nice foot sculpt on the back of the Edmontosaurus. And then you lead out the length of the tail yet again. You can see the skin stretching off of the body right there. Very nice, majestic looking, slight curve to the tail. The underside sports a cloaca, and just generally another really beautifully, very highly detailed area of this Edmontosaurus. And then the upper side of the dinosaur has like a row of ridges that runs along the back, and you also have like some rows of scutes and osteoderms and stuff that run along the back of the dinosaur as well, which just creates an even more appealing appearance, I would say, for the Edmontosaurus. So, like I had stated, this is without question the nicest looking Edmontosaurus in my collection. There is absolutely no competition as far as that goes. But as far as the actual balancing of the model goes, it stands really nicely. This is actually the first Passion Charger model that I've had the opportunity to own that doesn't actually have a base. It does have a base if you order the entire family, and I actually believe you can get this one possibly with a base, but the one that I have here does not actually have a base, so it's just a standalone model, which is definitely different from all of the others, but still really quite cool. This is also, I would imagine, the largest Passion Charger model that I have acquired so far. The Rex is really quite large as well, but this Edmontosaurus just is massive overall. And to show you that as far as a size goes, for a length from the snout to the tail, you are looking at about 12 3/4 inches, or about 32.5 centimeters. And then for a height, which the highest area would actually be the back, you are looking at closing in at about 4 1/4 inches, or around 10.5 or 11 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line. And hopefully these guys here, in comparison to this insanely large Edmontosaurus, will help to give you a good idea of the overall size, because again, it is extremely impressive in the size department. Like, it's not gigantic, but as far as, a Passion Charger release goes, and from what I have in my collection, it is definitely a very impressive size. So this Passion Charger 1/35th scale Edmontosaurus model is beyond incredible. Like, one of the nicest releases that they've had ever, and definitely one of, if not the nicest models that I have in my collection from Passion Charger. It is just overall a perfect interpretation, in my opinion, of what Edmontosaurus should look like and does look like. Like, it is just so beautiful. They have sculpted every ounce of detail out, as always, on the model with the absolute most precision and care, and it really shows throughout the entire model. Like, they have shown off everything so perfectly. Like, every little ounce of skin on the dinosaur that would be like folding or bending or stretching is shown perfectly in the sculpt, and they always do just that, because I feel like the sculptor for Passion Charger is easily one of, if not the most impressive paleo artists out there, because it just blows my mind how good the sculpts of their dinosaurs always are. And this Edmontosaurus is a perfect example of that. Like, if I were to pick out a dinosaur model and be like, if you really want to get a good idea of what Passion Charger is capable of, look at this one right here, this Edmontosaurus, because it is just insanely well done in a detailing standpoint. The overall appearance of the Edmontosaurus is gorgeous as well. Picture perfect, in my opinion, as far as accuracy goes, and just generally a very appealing look to the dinosaur as it's walking along. And again, like I had stated earlier in the review, you can actually buy this Edmontosaurus as like a family with a female and some babies, which you can see from this image right here, which is really cool as well, to be able to get the entire family of Edmontosaurus. But even this standalone version of the Edmontosaurus here is an incredible win on the part of Passion Charger, and something that I'm so psyched to add to my collection and have the opportunity to review here for you guys. Again, the paint scheme here was done by me. I'm actually considering maybe darkening the blue up a little bit to more of a gray. I'm not too sure. I kind of like the flashiness of the paint scheme that I've given it, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sold on it. So who knows what I'll do as far as moving forward, but this paint scheme here and this paint application was done by me, so you can go whatever route you would like as far as whatever paint scheme you would like to apply to it. And that is one very fun aspect of getting models like this, where you have to put the model together and then paint it, or have someone do it for you. It's always a very relaxing and very enjoyable time building and painting your own models, and that's definitely something that is also, again, fun about this style of model. So if you are interested in purchasing this, I will include a link in the description to where you can contact Passion Charger on Facebook, or you can contact me and I will contact them for you, or you can also head to the link in the description and then order it through Dan's Dinosaurs to pick yourself up this beautiful Edmontosaurus. One way or another, make sure you do in fact pick this up if you are interested, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.